So I heard Secret Wars is finally going to introduce... You get reception down here?
I don't have a phone.
It's coming from out there.
Hey, Bub. You're in a movie theater, not the off room in your mom's nursing home. So turn your phone to silent or I'll shove it so far up your you'll have to answer it through your
No, easy now. Easy now. So much testosterone. It's... God, when you yell like that, it makes my vibrate. At least I think it's my... Listen, just, turn your phones off. Or put them on silent, you know, whatever you prefer. I'm gonna take his neck veins for a walk now. Enjoy the film. Nice fourth wall break back there. I didn't think you had it in you.
Shut your mouth.
No.
What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to SeaWorld Productions. Avengers Assemble. You guys, I got some big updates for Avengers 5, and I cannot wait. It is so exciting to talk about. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Avengers 5, right? It's slated to start production in 2025. Now, Marvel is currently looking for a director to helm the next big Avengers movie. It is not easy to fill that spot. It is intimidating. I can only imagine being the director of an Avengers movie. I would be absolutely terrified knowing what's at stake. The love, the fan base is so ginormous. And you think about it, there hasn't been one bad Avengers movie coming from Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame. Now, granted, two of those films were directed by Joss Whedon, and the last two were directed by the Russo brothers, which they both did phenomenal. Avengers 1 through 4 were really big hits, especially between the fandom and at the box office. So we're talking Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars. Well, Marvel Studios has met with Shawn Levy, you guys, the director of Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, keep this in mind. If they're talking to Shawn Levy and they're highly impressed with what he's done with Deadpool and Wolverine, we have struck gold. Deadpool and Wolverine is going to change the course for the MCU moving forward, and it leads directly into your next Avengers movie. So it makes all the sense in the world if he directed the hell out of this movie, impressing all the higher-ups at Marvel Studios. It makes all the sense in the world for them wanting him to return to direct the Avengers movie, because the ensemble for Deadpool and Wolverine is ginormous. Yeah, they're going to be a bunch of cameos, but I feel like you're still going to have a great story that is embedded with a lot of heart and passion. I mean, Shawn Levy and, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, whenever they talk to each other and you see interviews, you can just see the love and the admiration that these individuals have for themselves, for each other, and for the project of Deadpool and Wolverine. It is so inspiring, you guys. So it makes all the sense in the world why they would want Shawn Levy to direct Avengers 5. Now, keep this in mind. They already offered him the spot to direct in mid-March, but he turned down the role. He turned down the role because he was busy doing with whatever projects he has in the future. It was because of the whole scheduling conflicts. But then Marvel recently apparently just pushed Avengers 5. So now he's back in talks with Marvel to direct Avengers 5, and they are currently waiting on an answer. But not only that, you guys, they are still looking for a director to direct 5. So they're having meetings with potential directors for Avengers 5, just in case Shawn Levy says no to the project and he decides to move on from Deadpool to Wolverine after that. But like I said, the fact that Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, Bob Iger, and all the higher-ups are so highly impressed with Deadpool and Wolverine, that just lets you know, they struck gold. This is massive. Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be a big hit for Marvel Studios that they drastically need right now, you guys. It is so exciting. But continue on to some of these other updates. This is interesting. So production begins in 2025. Obviously, we know that. The main villain is still unknown. Now, remember, Avengers 5, before it had a title shift, it was the Kang Dynasty. You were going to have the whole variants of Kang that we saw at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but with the whole Jonathan Majors situation. And honestly, the love for Kang hasn't been there. Like, when Thanos first appeared at the end of Avengers, and then he reappeared in Guardians of the Galaxy, then at the end of Age of Ultron, it was massive. Fans were hyped. We couldn't believe it. But with Jonathan Majors as Kang, I feel like he never really struck the audience in a favorable way. So they're like, okay, maybe we move away from Kang and we figure out a different villain. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the main villain for Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars. It's going to be really interesting with the whole incursions and the whole multiverse. It is going to get absolutely bonkers, you guys. Another update, Michael Waldron has turned in the latest script for Avengers 5, which is reassuring. And it may feature, listen to this, you guys. This one was massive. So it may feature over 60 MCU characters. 60. 60. That is wild. That is huge. That is a lot of characters. I thought Endgame was a lot. Endgame was still a main focus on your core Avengers. So Infinity War was more of the ensemble film, but Endgame was more so of your original Avengers and their wrap-up story, like Iron Man and, Steve Rogers. That was their wrap-up story. And it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to handle this. I mean, it says here, it's an ensemble instead of a handful of characters leading the team. So it's not going to be like he's leading the team, she's leading the team. It's more so going to be a collective thing with a bunch of characters, which is kind of interesting to me. I always thought Sam Wilson, Captain America, was going to lead the Avengers. I always thought that was going to be the next big thing. And, him being the face of the Avengers moving forward. But it seems like they're moving away from that. And I don't know why in particular. Maybe Falcon and the Winter Soldier wasn't so well received with the fans. And, they don't think Captain America, Sam Wilson, can carry his own film being the leader of an Avengers team. But, I find that to be interesting that they're saying that it's going to be more of an ensemble instead of a team. It's going to be interesting. So Thor, Loki, Hulk, Doctor Strange, Nebula, and Shang-Chi are among potential characters who can be in Avengers 5. You got to throw in She-Hulk. You got to throw in Daredevil. You got to throw in Spider-Man. There are going to be more characters than what they just, said in this Deadline article. Because obviously, there's so much story to tell. There's so much story between Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars. Secret Wars, I feel like, is going to be more so of the Marvel Legacy characters returning, like your Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and your Hugh Jackman Wolverine. But I feel like for Avengers 5, the entitled film, you have to the ensemble thing makes sense, but you have to establish your Avengers first. That's one of my main big issues right now, is that there's no establishment. There's nobody leading the team. There's nobody, collectively trying to bring everybody together like, Tony was and Steve was and, Nick Fury. There's none of that right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of these characters are going to how they're going to come together and what's going to be the big bang to be like, okay, we need to form the Avengers fast. Something is happening within the multiverse. And you think about it, there's a lot of characters right now in this multiverse saga who had no idea what's going on with this multiverse thing. They have no awareness of Kang. They have no awareness of the incursions and none of that shit other than Doctor Strange, which I feel like he will be a main character in Avengers 5. I think Doctor Strange I think he'll be one of the leads. That they said there won't be a lead. It'll be more of an ensemble. But Doctor Strange, I feel like with, especially at the end of, Multiverse of Madness, him causing the incursions, essentially being one of the main vocal points to Avengers Secret Wars and these next two Avengers films. You can rightfully say that he's one of the causes, you know what I mean? Including Kang, obviously. But it's going to be interesting, man. Like I said, it's going to be tricky to see how they're going to get all these characters on screen for a purpose, in Endgame, so to say. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, Infinity War was your ensemble, and Endgame was your original 6 Avengers and their wrap-up story, and seeing that core group together one last time on the big screen. And, essentially it all worked out. It was pitch perfect, you guys. But, man, I'm excited. If Shawn Levy is actually down to come and direct, Avengers 5, I definitely think that he needs to direct Avengers Secret Wars. There's no way in hell you'd have him direct 5 and not Secret Wars. I want one director, one cohesive story with both films moving forward. I don't want 2 separate directors because essentially there's going to be 2 styles that are completely different. Characters are going to be treated differently. I want one director for both films. Marvel, if you got to pay Shawn Levy, freaking, $30 million to direct both of these films, essentially do it, because it's going to take up the next 4 to 6 years of his life directing your Avengers movies. Because, like I said, the pressure, the amount of responsibility, the Russo brothers were damn near directing Marvel movies for 10 plus years when you think about it. It started with Winter Soldier. They never stopped after Civil War. Then they started plotting and understanding, Infinity War and Endgame. So it was like a whole damn near decade of directing films, and it can be a lot on somebody, and that's why they wanted a break, after Endgame. They're like, oh, we're done for right now. We're going to be moving on and doing, some of their solo projects they did for Netflix and, blah, 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 Cherry, you name it, Gray Man, and blah, 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 blah. But it's going to be interesting, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, this is going to be, I'm hyped. Like, the fact that Shawn Levy is in talks, or is Marvel's top choice, just lets me know that, Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be on a whole nother level of spectacular, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited, you guys. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about today's topic, about this nice update for Avengers 5. Thoughts and opinions. What do you think about the ensemble, more so of a original team leading the Avengers and Avengers 5? And who would you like to see for the 60 characters that Marvel plans to introduce in these next 2 Avengers films? Because honestly, it's not just one, it's going to be a collective group going into both films, you guys. We could have over 100. This is going to be absolutely crazy. We're dealing with the multiverse, the endless possibilities, you guys. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, thank you for taking time out of your day for watching Serial Productions. Peace.